Hello. Today's an exciting day for me. I'm going out with the old and in with the new. I got a brand new trailer for my work trailer. I'm a little excited about it. There's significant differences in them, but also very similarities between them. So I'm just going to go over a quick comparison between the two. This whole video is going to show me changing out the cabinets and everything that I have in this trailer and putting them into this trailer, setting this all up so it's my permanent work trailer. I'm undecided if I'm going to keep this trailer as just a cargo trailer for hauling around material, cabinets, and whatnot to jobs and everything. It all depends on, once I strip everything out of it, clean it all up, decide if it's worth me repairing some of the issues that are on it, or if it's time to sell it and then consider buying another similar trailer, not quite as fancy as this one. But it comes in handy having a open, empty, enclosed trailer. Just for hauling all the cabinets and anything that I may need that I don't want to have out in an open air trailer because of road debris, winter, rain, whatever it may be. So yeah, I'm just going to go over a quick comparison. To start off, you can easily tell the difference in the size as far as height goes. So this black trailer is a 7x14 Hallmark trailer. The interior height of it is 72 inches. Now I'm 6 foot tall. 72 inches is 6 foot. I ever so slightly brushed my hair on the top, but it never really bothers me. That's not the problem. The entry height for the door, the entry height for the door is what gets me all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've hit my head on this, and it's not fun because it always catches you off guard. So this, if you look, my head's right there, and it's not fun. I've hit it going in, I've hit it going out. On this side you got the tension bars. Where's the light? There. You got these tension bars and these nuts are always down, so you scalp yourself a little. But yeah, well, I'm in here actually. 72 inch, so I can't see the camera, but my hair just barely rubs it. So that doesn't really bother me because I tend to slouch a little anyways. But the new trailer I got has a 84-inch interior height, so 7 foot. So I don't have to worry about ever hitting my head on the inside. Oh, I forgot those were in there. Let's go over those later. But the entry height, I have plenty of space. If I remember correctly, I think it was 78 inches on that one. And then the side door, so the side door on this trailer is like 66 inches. It was another one that I would hit my head on. The side door on the new trailer is 73 inches, and I'll never hit my head on it because how they act as you enter into them, you're kind of going in on an angle. You're not going in perfectly straight, so by the time you're there, and also like I said, I'm not 73 inches tall. But yeah, another comparison is this has the side step on it. The new trailer is an all aluminum frame trailer. Aluminum shell, aluminum frame, aluminum everything, where the old trailer is a steel frame with aluminum sides. Couple other big differences is I have on the new trailer, I opted to have ladder racks put on. Let's go over to that. And then a climb up ladder on the front. So let's quickly go up there. And this is a full walking roof. So I don't have to worry about falling through or anything while I'm loading stuff on. That roof is not a walk-in roof, but it also does not have ladder racks on it, which proved to be a little inconvenient at times because I would have ladder racks on the truck carrying ladders or lumber or whatever, and I'd have to be very careful not to stick it out the back of the truck too much because turning with the trailer on, it would hit the front of the trailer. Where now I can just stack it up on here. So that's good. All right, let's go back down. Some of the minor things is This jack is, I think, a 5,000? No, 3,000 pound lift. And then the jack for this one, it doesn't say it on there anymore, but I know it was a 2,000 pound lift. It's got upgraded cords and chains and all that stuff. Like I said, right here you can see that it's an aluminum frame. Some other little bonuses, I have side illuminating lights. Let's see if I can turn those on right now. There. And then in back, I'll just turn them all on right now. In back I have rear loading lights, and then on this side I have another illuminating light. And yeah, those are the bookcases that I picked up the other day. Well, not the other day, the very first day I got this. Yeah, the other day, yesterday. On the way home I decided I was going to pick up the bookcases for that job, so you guys will see that. But I'm going to go over some other stuff. I just gotta stop for a minute. Someone just stopped by. All right, so one thing I didn't mention already that I forgot to is both trailers are actually 7 by 14 trailers. So they're 7 foot wide inside by 14 foot long inside. The difference though between the two trailers on the inside is this one, if I get this out of the way. Oh man, it's dark in here. There. This one does not have a V-nose. So up here is just basically straight across. It has a slight little bow to it, but not much. The other trailer, let's go back out. This trailer has a V-nose, so it allows a little more space inside. So that sticks out, and it kind of follows the A-frame of the trailer some, where this one doesn't, and it's just kind of just a little bit of a bow, that's all. They're both 7,000 pound rated trailers. I mentioned that it has an all aluminum frame multiple times. I live in New England and I really don't like dealing with salt and rusting everything. This trailer is a 2011 and the frame's already been repaired once because of rust. So I don't want to have to deal with it again. I don't want to risk breaking down. So I opted to go with the aluminum frame so I don't have to deal with the rust. I can't tell you the specs on the weight of it. I believe the whole trailer is still lighter than this trailer is comparatively because it is aluminum, but they also have to do a little more reinforcing because aluminum is not typically as strong as steel is, but I still like this one better. So I guess the process is once I have those cabinets out and installed, I'm going to be getting my company logo wrap put on around that trailer, and then once I get that done, I'm going to be unmounting all of the cabinets in here. I built these cabinets. I gotta just take this cardboard out of here. I need that for the job, but gotta remember to put it back in. I built all of these cabinets to custom fit what I personally want and what I like. This whole unit, now this is a solid phenolic top, and it's plywood cabinet shell underneath. I use this as my work area. Like as you see, all my tools are sitting on it before I put them away. But I have my table saw mounted onto a lower table, so the table itself runs flush with the work surface as my off-feed table. In the back side, I have my vacuum that hooks up to the table saw. I don't know if you're even seeing all this because of the light. I'm just realizing that. But yeah, I have that hooked up over there. And then with my miter saw, I have a stand that works off of pipes, and then my miter saw will mount onto these, and the table of the miter saw will sit here flush with this, so this works as the off-feed table to that as well. So this whole unit will come out and bolt to the new wall, or the wall of the new trailer, and then this whole unit will do the same thing. This one might need to get altered a little because like I said, this is not a V-nose where the new trailer is a V-nose. So where these pipes come out and incorporate into this bracket that holds them on this side, I might have to change that mounting because the V-nose and the angle and all that. I'll figure that out later. Another thing is this storage over here. This is a bigger unit. This is 8 foot long by roughly 2 foot deep. And I have all these pull-out drawers in it and these angled shelves in it for like storing. I have my bags of tools and my cases of hardware and guns and all that stuff. And then in these drawers I have like my screws and nails and smaller hand tools and stuff. I have my charge station and everything for all my batteries. I have hanging storage. But yeah, these whole units will come out and they will get mounted onto the walls in the new trailer. So that big unit will go up against over here. The tabletop unit, same place over against this side. And then the front unit's going to go up there in the corner. So the grand scheme, they're going to be very, very similar. But before I do all that, I do plan on putting down some type of either stick down tile, like the 1 foot by 1 foot tiles, or maybe like a VCT floor, because there's a lot of traffic in and out of these trailers. I use them all the time. And it just wears a lot better, it cleans up a lot better, and it just makes it look good. It makes it look real clean and good. So I plan on doing that. Well, while I was over here, I should have showed you. I have LED strip lighting on the ceiling. I have 3 different sets. 2 sets go on at once and 1 set goes on at a different time. The current set that's on goes on by a battery. I have that hooked up to a battery system, so that's actually why they're a little dim, because the battery's getting low. But the other 2 sets, so this strip right here and this strip right here, those get turned on when the trailer actually plugs into the house that I'm working on. So I'm at home. I don't have it hooked up to my house right now. I don't need it to be. So I have to convert that over to here. I'm undecided how I'm going to do it on here, because the ceiling grid system's slightly different. But I think instead of going long strips of LED lights down this way, I might just do strips down every one of these frame members for the roof going across. I might just do that. I'll see once it comes to it. But yeah, I can't really do a whole lot today. Like I said, I'm going to be waiting on installing all those cabinets. The next thing, I gotta wait and get this thing wrapped. I can't wait to do that. I'm very excited about that. See how that comes out. And then after that, once it's wrapped, I will be ready to convert everything from there over to this. Alright, so today I am going to start actually putting the floor in the new trailer. It's VCT. I've never done it before. I know the theory of it, I know the steps of it, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me. But for you guys, you can watch as well. I know the first step is I got to get all the dust out of here, so it's not used a lot, but there's just random dust. So I don't need to sweep it, I'm just going to blow it out with my little blower. I know my next step is going to be, I'm going to be doing like a pattern on here. So I'm not going to be running it square to this edge and square to this edge. It's actually going to be on a 45. So I want to run a chalk line across here so I have the tips of each of the square tiles that I can put it on. And then as I go down this side, I'm going to start, actually it makes sense to start on this side. I'm going to start on this side. So I'm going to run another chalk line down this side over here so I have those tips that I can hold it on so I'm not twisting and crooked and whatnot. So I'm going to do that with a chalk line, and it's blue after that. All right, to explain a little better what I'm doing, I'm not running the tiles square like that against the wall. I'm actually going to be having a pattern that incorporates it like that. So I need to be able to line up where these two tips go so I'm not sideways like that and then it throws off the whole pattern. So I'm going to be creating a chalk line that goes across this whole wall and then across the tail right here. And by getting that measurement, pretty easy. I just take the tile, measure across diagonal, and I measure 16 and 7/8. So I want half of that, which is 8 and 7/16. So all I do, if I can get my pencil, 8 and 7/16, mark on the floor. And I'm just going to do small little areas I can show you. 8 and 7/16. Right here, mark on the floor. And then I take my chalk line like this. Let's see if I can do this without actually having it anchored. Like that. And now this gives me, I didn't do it wide enough, the spots where I put my corners on. You can ever so slightly see what's left of the line right there because I didn't run the line wide enough. Let's move this over just a little so you can see more. But yeah, right there and right there. So that gives me the grid that I go all across that wall and then all across the tail of it. But as you saw, I can't do it with just two hands, so I'm going to be taking a screw out of my pocket and setting a screw in the floor right here and then running down to the other end and pulling the chalk line tight, and then I can pull this screw out afterwards. Alrighty, I'm going to do that. That's just going to be on time lapse, and then I'll get back to it. Alright, so there's my essentially grid. Let's see, with all the light, I don't know if you can see too well, but there is dissecting orange lines right there that run across. This is the tail, and then we have another one that runs down this side over here. So that'll give me everything I need for those. Now it's just spreading the glue out. So with the glue for this, again, my first time doing it, but my understanding is you spread it all out, you let it semi-dry. You let it dry until it turns clear, and then you stick the tile on it. And once you get all the tiles on it, you go over with a big heavy weighted roller. I'm not going to be using a heavy weighted roller because I actually have a laminate roller. So it's smaller, but I can just do it by hand and roll over everything by hand. But yeah, so I'm going to start spreading this glue out. I'm using it suggests to use a 330 seconds by 16 by 16 notch trowel. So that's what I'm going to use. Oh yeah, if you've noticed, I am working in my socks because my shoes are completely covered in mud and water and everything. And I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible in here. So no mud, no water, no dust. Oh man, these things are hard to open. Hopefully I didn't wreck that lid. Already getting it all over myself. That's probably way too much to start with, but it's all right. Wow, it spreads like water. I already noticed I made a little mistake. I didn't clean up the little nipples from where the screws went in. Let's see if I can take that out with this. Yeah. I think so. Waste a little glue scraping it off, but stops the dimple from getting under it. And the less dimples under it, the longer it lasts. Yeah, that's better. Trying to get the perimeter first because this stuff spreads so easy. I can fill the field real quick. It says you have a 6 to 8 hour work time. So I don't know if it means 6 to 8 hours for it to dry to clear, or if it's 6 to 8 hours after it's clear for you to work on it. So gonna have to try and figure that out as I go. What I'll do is I'll just kind of keep an eye on it. Once it's clear, I'll start putting the tile on it right away. With how thin it is, I can't imagine it taking 6 hours to dry, to clear. I don't know. Alright, before I cover this up, I'm going to put it back on time lapse before I can't get at the camera. Alright, there it is. It's all spread out. Now I just gotta wait for it to dry up a little so it's clear, then I can start sticking down the tile. Here's the side view. Tell you, it's already drying on my fingers and it's definitely sticky, so let's hope it works good with the floor. I mean, it's used in basically every commercial building out there, so it's got to be good. All right, I'll wait for this to dry, then get back to laying the tile down there. All right, for the most part, the glue has turned clear, at least down this end. By the time I get to that end, I'm assuming it'll turn clear, because that's what I finished off with, and I started with this, so as I go, it's gonna phase. So now the next step is I have to figure out my pattern. I'm copying something that I saw on a job site before, so it's not going to be just dark light, dark light, dark light. It's actually going to have some type of pattern to it. I'm not really going to be able to show it until I actually have some down. But to put these tiles down, basically you just lay them down. You have your grid line that I laid out before. You can see it sticking through, the orange right there, and then the orange over there. Use that as your reference points, and then you just start sticking your tiles down. Once you have a couple down, I'm going to take, like I said, I have a laminate roller. It's much smaller than a weighted roller, but it has a smaller roller on it, so when I push on it, I feel like it can apply more pressure with this smaller mount rather than having a large roller that's 12, 18, or 24 inches wide and only weighs 20 or 40 pounds. But, yep, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to start sticking them down. It's going to be in time lapse. I have 3 different colors going down, and hopefully you'll be able to see. Alright, that is the main field. Now I have to go around and cut all the edges in, cut the tail in, and cut the front in. So, I'm not perfect. I did go slightly astray. So, if you look at this tile, that's right to the point. I didn't have to cut it at all. And if you look at this one, it's right to the point, and I didn't have to cut it. But if you look over here, I'm like 3/16, maybe a 1/4 inch away right there. So I ran a little crooked, and then down this long end, I had to nip off the tile. But I think it's definitely going to be unnoticeable because how it runs in here anyways, it all looks crooked so you can't tell. there's going to be a cabinet on this wall, there's going to be a cabinet on this wall, there's going to be a cabinet up there. The only places that are going to be exposed are right across here, about 4 feet right along here, and then right in front of this doorway. So I think it's perfect. I already like the pattern. I really haven't had time to actually step back and look until just now. All right, now I'm going to cut in the sides. Alright, I got all of the perimeter cut tiles in. Now all I have to do is clean up and roll it all with the laminate roller. And then I'll be on to the next stage. That'll be a quick time lapse of cleaning and rolling it. Alrighty. Alright, here's the completed floor with nothing in the way. Pretty cool pattern. I saw it at a job and I liked it, so I wanted to duplicate it. Alright, on to the next. The next thing is going to be unloading the other trailer and getting those cabinets carried over and mounted into this one. Today's the day. This trailer is going to be getting stripped down of all the tools and the cabinets, and then we're going to transfer everything over to the new trailer. So again, they're the same size trailer, just comparison though. Look how much bigger it looks without everything in it. And then later on we'll see what it looks like once we put everything in. Alright, it's just going to be a big time lapse of us unloading all the tools and everything. Yay! Can't see me, I'm hiding. I'm invisible. Come on, just need to get my fingers under it. Get it? Yeah. It's just because the floor is so fresh, you know, and this is just a clean cut. Couldn't get my fingers under.
Oh, plenty. What am I hitting though? Is it? It feels like it's hitting something, but it doesn't.
It's these pads hitting. This one right here is hitting.
Oh, those are hitting?
Yeah, that's hitting everywhere.
That's what you want.
And that's hitting everywhere.
It's just not quite level, but.
So those pocket screws don't even touch. Good. That's good. We'll just tuck those in the corner and screw that in. Yeah, so pop all those pocket screws out.
Okay. You want to get a square to square. So leave your end. Open the back.
Yeah, it's a little tight, but it still works.
As long as it works.
All right, so the cabinets are back in this trailer, or not back in this trailer, but they're in the new trailer now, and it's the same size, but it's empty, so it appears like it's bigger. But I still feel much more comfortable in this one because it's taller. I mean, his head's not even a foot close to it. And also, I don't have to duck. All right, we're gonna still work on getting a lot of the miscellaneous stuff done. We gotta hook up the wiring for the conduit and stuff. Hook that back up to the wall. Same with over here. Gonna have to bend a new piece that goes from this over down there and connects to this side over here. Drill through already? Yep. Perfect. Alright, well, my GoPro battery completely died on me, so you missed some stuff. But I got my levels mounted, I got my frame and squares mounted, my other level. Those brackets up there are for an 8-foot straight edge. That's actually on the job site right now. I have my T-square mounted. All of that is right on the wall, easy access, just lift up out and it's easy. Then this cabinet, we had to alter some. So this trailer is a V-nose and this is tucked further back now. And rather than trying to remake this entire cabinet or change the cabinet, figured it'd just be easier to add a little block right here so the pipes still mount to it, so my saw can mount to the pipes. Everything over here is pretty much unaltered, at least for now. With the trailer being much taller, being a foot taller, the old one, this was actually almost touching the ceiling. Now I have like a foot space. I might actually redesign this whole thing and maybe take this out, take these out, move this charging station somewhere, and build another cabinet to sit on top of here for more storage. I don't know yet, but at least it gives me the option to. So right now, this is where my chop saw stand sits. These are the hooks for my drywall sander, and then above it's just going to be empty for now, but I can grow and allow more of that. I have my hooks for all my hoses and my extension cords. I have more space over here now for whatever I want to possibly hang on here or put on here. That's where my frame and squares and my T-squares used to be, but I kind of figured I have more space on this wall, so I might as well use it here because it's not really usable for other stuff. Like I can't hang extension cords on here where over there I could. Yeah. Now it's kind of just loading everything back in. I do have to, so with how this trailer works, how it's set up, well, this should be back in here, but or how it's going to work, I should say, is I'm going to drill a hole in the floor right here for the extension cord and the air hose to run through, so I'm not tripping on them going in and out of here. When the extension cord runs through and plugs into the house, the other end now has power. I had my electrician a couple of years ago make up this, where the trailer essentially plugs into the extension cord that's attached to the house. And that allows this to actually have power at that point, which will run across and then into here where I normally have my battery chargers and batteries for this. But not only that, coming out of this, there's going to be a pipe that goes up, over, and across that runs back over to here where it has a switch for extra lighting on the ceiling that's going to go up. It also has power that goes to an outlet over here for when I need routers or whatever when I'm working in here. There is actually one outlet here as well, but that goes down here where there's an outlet for my compressor that permanently sits in here. It is a mobile compressor. If I ever needed to take it out, I can, but I don't like carrying it, so it's easier for it just to stay in here. Then the power also runs across here where the table saw can get plugged into. And that's what this is. That'll get wound up and zip tied up underneath so it's out of the way. But yeah, all that. Then, like I said, there's a switch in here. I'm going to be putting LED lights on these cross members so I don't have to have it plugged into the trailer or plugged into the truck all the time. But yeah, gonna have power on all that. A lot going on, but when I designed it for the last trailer, it took me a couple months to figure out the design I wanted, and now I finally have it. Well, now I finally have it in actually the bigger trailer that I wanted originally, but I couldn't find it then. Now I could. All right, now I'm gonna load everything back in. I still have to do some altering, like I said. These are bays where nail guns and drills or whatnot get stored. This is the same design up here. I just never actually finished putting it together originally. This board will go on to retain it all, but I'm leaving it off because I'm gonna cut more, as I put the tools in, I'm gonna cut more panels to create the compartments to store everything. Alrighty, I'm gonna set a time lapse up and start loading everything back in. Alright, here's the trailer. I did a lot of work off camera because it was kind of just easier and quicker and kind of running out of time to do it, but to go over a grand scheme of things, here is the wall that I'm hanging everything on. I have my magnet with like hand tools that I use regularly. I have my big work surface, basically my workbench. My table saw is mounted on a lower area, so the top bed of it is in line, so anytime I rip stuff, this serves as an off-feed table. On the opposing edge of it, I'm going to set up the camera real quick. I have these pipes that come out, and then my chop saw mounts to that, which is stored underneath my workbench. So this just mounts like that, and then now the table of the chop saw is in line with the workbench, so that's again my cutoff area, and this chop saw just stores down underneath here. My compressor is permanently staying under there, where I have the air hose that runs up the back, up along the electrical over here, over to a spool. Once this gets rolled out through a hole in the floor and pulled out from underneath the trailer, that goes to wherever I'm working. Then you connect this up to the actual compressor. That way I don't have to deal with carrying a compressor in and out, and also I don't have the noise in the client's house or even on the job site. So this is the cabinet that I kind of had to decide whether I was going to alter or just twist, and it actually worked out perfect. I just twisted it because It's now mounted flush up against the V-nose. It allows me in the future to do more storage over here. I think I might eventually put my sledgehammer down on bottom and have it just kind of mounted here. The only thing I had to change is I had to make this mounting block for these pipes, but that's no big deal. Over here I have some hanging storage for my brooms, my floor scraper, my floor mop, in the way back my drywall sander. I have all my hanging hoses and extension cords. And then to go over this again, I have these two garden hose reels. And on the top one I have 150 feet of air hose, on the bottom one I have 100 feet of extension cord. And I can roll the extension cord out again through this hole in the floor. I connect this extension cord to the house, and then I have the wiring on the wall that connects to the extension cord right here. Turn this around. I would just plug this in. Of course, again, the trailer is not plugged into the house, but this is kind of hard to do with one hand. There. I would just plug that in like that, and then essentially this would have power. Now, this having power, I'm never going to really use this outlet over here. It's just a GFI, so in case anything happens, the entire trailer is controlled by the GFI. But I have a conduit that goes out to the left and one that goes out above. The one that goes above goes across, and that's what gives me power over on the workbench. I have the extension or the outlets right here for using any type of router or something on here. I have outlets over here again for using any type of router. My cell phone charger's in there. But this also goes underneath and gives power to the compressor, and then runs across and gives power to the table saw and the shop vac. The shop vac's just not plugged in right now. The shop vac actually goes through this port and plugs right into the table saw to suck up all the dust from that. But the only thing I haven't got done to make it equal to the last trailer is connecting the power to this switch and this plug right here that goes to I think it's called a capacitor, or I don't know. It goes from 120 volt to, or 110 volt, sorry, to 12 volt. So I can run the lights. The reason I'm not doing that right now is it's too cold to mount the LED strip lights to the actual aluminum. So I don't want to mount them and have them peel off when it starts to warm up. They're supposed to be mounted in 55 or above degree temperature, and right now it's about 28. But there's all that over here where this conduit, the one to the left, goes. That runs across behind this cabinet and into this area where I have all of my battery chargers, and then this is just battery storage. So that's all the power. And then this cabinet, is it showing all of it there? I have drawers that unlock and pull out with all my different type of storage in here. So I have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 drawers in there. They're all full of everything. They're basically by category. This is my hand tools. This is my demolition, like heavy metal tools. My nail storage, my screw storage, my wipes and rags and all that type of stuff. Then this is my additional, because in the past I ran out of space in that. This is actually my additional storage for hand tools. This one, yeah, this one's my drywall. This one's my painting. This is for all my tile stuff. This is for my roofing. This is for my siding, and this is for yeah, any type of small electrical, like changing outlets or cutting a wire or something. So that's the trailer. I do have some plans to change or add on, not necessarily change, add on stuff. Because this trailer is a foot taller, I will have a lot more head storage. So I'm planning on taking this out, and building another cabinet over here that actually goes up to the ceiling. And by doing that, I get a lot more storage I have it all the way up to the ceiling. I'm probably going to make some cubbies like this, except a little bit narrower for all my battery powered tools. There's plenty of spaces up here that I never actually got to filling up because I just kind of started throwing stuff in it, and I want to avoid doing that. So building the cubbies over here, I'll be able to get more of my battery powered storage in here, all that type of stuff. The maybe shelving with some type of doors across it for like unused or unopened boxes of nails and screws for like extra stock above here, because what's in these drawers are screws and containers and whatnot that are currently open, and there's times where I need a lot of it, so I don't want to be filling up in these two areas with unused or unopened cases. Like right here, I have a bunch of flooring coming up, but I have like 6 boxes of flooring cleats where I don't necessarily need them in here. I could put them up in potential storage up here. So that's the plan. But yeah, that's the whole trailer. For now, I am probably going to call it a video if I get the wrap done soon, because it hasn't been done yet. If that happens soon, before I get to editing all this, I'll throw a little walk around of the wrap on this. If not, it'll be on the next video, because I do plan on, like I said, I do plan on making the cabinet for here. I do plan on making a cabinet for there. I'll do a video of making those and installing them, loading them all up and everything. And by then, the wrap will definitely be done, and I'll throw that walk around on there. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.